It's an honour to speak as this landmark bill passes hopefully its next stage, bringing in an era of insecurity and low pay under the party opposite finally to an end. This landmark bill brings in day one rights for workers, a fair pay agreement for social care workers and greater entitlement to statutory sick pay. As the focus for what I'd like to speak about, I'd really like to highlight the way in which the bill and some of the amendments really strengthen the impact for care workers, carers, the majority of whom are women. We've heard already in this debate many proposals from honourable members on this side to go further than the excellent proposals before us to strengthen day one rights of employment, including from the member for Luton North, who movingly spoke about pregnancy loss bereavement, as well as the member for Walthamstow in talking about the need for stronger entitlements to parental leave. All of these will have a really positive impact, particularly on women. I particularly want to draw attention to the day one right in terms of the strengthening of flexible working by default, and invite the Minister to consider giving guidance to employers that they should require flexible working to be advertised. The Fawcett Society have made a particularly strong case around the importance of this for women, and I know that is also true for carers. If they don't know before applying for a job that they can secure that flexibility, many people will not even apply. So 40% of women who are not currently working said that if flexible work was available to them, it would enable them to do paid work. So we're missing out on a huge potential for businesses. And the Fawcett Society survey in 2023 said that 77% of women agreed that they would be more likely to apply for a job that advertises flexible working options, while 30% had had to turn down a job offer when employers were unable to offer the flexible working they need. So while the bill makes excellent provisions, I would urge the Minister perhaps to respond to this about how we can implement this in practice so that carers, and particularly women, can have the confidence to apply for jobs and know that they can have those flexible working requirements. So that's the first area. The second area that I'd really like to welcome that has huge benefit for care workers is the bill's provisions around the pay and conditions through pay agreements. And I echo some of the comments of the member for Loughborough, who's no longer in his place, about the huge benefits that this will bring to so many of our valued adult social care staff. So the establishment of the new Fair Work Agency will really ensure that everyone is playing by the same rules. And strengthening powers against modern slavery and labour abuse will further extend protections to those care workers, many of whom have come here, Madam Deputy Speaker, on overseas visas, and who've then found themselves having paid extortionate fees in their country of origin, being here tied into accommodation on 0 hours contracts and being exploited by the care companies. And so it's very welcome to see provision here. We know that too many care workers live in poverty. Research by the Health Foundation suggested that some 1 in 5 can't afford the essentials either for themselves or their children. And I am proud to be sitting here on these benches as we bring forward fair pay agreements along with the abolition of exploitative 0 hours contracts, which will provide finally that security for our valued social care workers. So in implementing this, though, it's really important that we establish the framework to enable home care workers in particular, some of whom I met with recently, who are not paid for their travel time or their sleep-in hours, despite the fact that these should be illegal. So as we take forward the Fair Pay Agreement in adult social care, I would urge the Minister to work with colleagues to ensure that there is an ethical charter surrounding this that care providers sign up to. And obviously this government has already shown how serious it is about valuing those who do so much to care for and provide support to disabled adults and older people in this country. I am delighted the government is strengthening statutory sick pay. Many care workers were forced during COVID at their own risk and the risk to those that they were caring for to go into work because they were not eligible for statutory sick pay. So I think this is an excellent move that we are strengthening that. So in conclusion, this bill, together with the proposed government amendments and some of those suggested by my honourable colleagues on this side, will ensure that the 1.5 million people working in adult social care can get fair pay, guaranteed hours, statutory sick pay and day one rights. It's good for workers and it's good for women. Thank you, Madam Deputy.